Hello and welcome back. So this video is going to be slightly different to normal videos. You can see got a little doggy there. Just show you, look, there's Nova, she's joining in this time. Yeah, this video is going to be slightly different. It's going to be more of a topic video, so self-discovery, spirituality and personal growth. So this video is going to be 3 ways to be more authentic in work and relationships. So it's going to be a little bit of an educational video, and I hope that you like it. And if you do at any point, then just give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment at any point and subscribe for more videos, because I might put more of these sorts of videos out there. Okay, so as I say, this one's going to be about 3 ways to be more authentic in work and relationships. So how to be more yourself, how to feel more like yourself, how to get out of work or relationships that make you feel like you're not being yourself, and yeah, just feel better in work and relationships. So So I'm going to start with the first step. So the first step is to understand what's not working for you. So you need to know, you kind of need to be present with what you're going through at the moment, and just kind of be aware of yourself and what's going on around you. The first step to any transformation and personal growth is self-awareness. It's key. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of story as to kind of the biggest point in my life where I felt this, and I made a major shift in my life. It kind of transformed everything for me, to be fair, and it was a major moment of self-awareness in a workplace that I was in. So a few years back, many years back now actually, I'd been going through a very difficult moment in my life. I had gone through redundancy, I'd gone through a breakup, and I was drinking a lot back then to kind of bury my feelings and everything I was going through. Apologies if you can hear a lot of noise in the background, the dog's just going a bit crazy. Yeah, I'd been going through a very difficult time. I became I felt very small. I felt like I'd lost my confidence completely. I'd been out of work about 4 months. I was going for so many jobs and I was being rejected time after time. And I just lost all my confidence. I lost who I was. I was, as I say, drinking through it, and I was just being someone that I kind of didn't really want to be. But I said to myself, as I was out of work, I said to myself, I am not going to go into another job like I was before. I wanted to go into a completely different area. And I ended up having to go back to the same sort of work because I just couldn't find any other work. I just kept being rejected, I guess. There was a lot of people out of work at the time. I think it was when we had the major recession. Yeah, so I ended up going back to a job that I didn't really want to do. She's really distracted me. I should have put her outside, but never mind. Let's just go with it. Let's be authentic. And Nova, what are you doing? So I ended up going and just agreeing to this job, and kind of the worst thing I did, really, because it kind of buried me even deeper than I was before. I didn't feel very supported in the job. I was constantly upset. I was constantly being picked up for the things that I was doing wrong, and obviously I was making a lot of mistakes because I just wasn't in a good mental state at the time. So yeah, I didn't have a very supportive manager, and I just felt smaller and smaller and smaller. And I started to notice, Nova, what are you doing? Oh my God. I started to notice, maybe I should have done this another time. Nova, what are you doing? Are you trying to get into the video? Look, I'll just show you that. Hello. Yeah, I started to notice that I was just not being myself. I was wearing a mask. I just felt awful. I just felt really stressed. I was crying all the time. I just lost all my confidence even more. And then one day I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake, and I got called into a meeting, and I felt sick going into the meeting, as I did most days. Actually felt sick going into work. And this is all important information to take in. And I left that meeting just feeling like I needed to get out, because my manager at the time said a sentence that just completely like changed the way I thought and felt. And it was that you need a rocket up your ass. She literally just said those words, and I was like, what? Like, I felt unseen, I felt unheard, I felt misunderstood. I felt like she just didn't see me at all. She didn't care at all. She just cared about the business. And so yeah, after kind of like, I suppose, being aware of the way I felt all the time, of seeing kind of seeing how I was behaving, seeing how my work was being affected by my environment, by the way that other people were being towards me, I just started to notice my value. I started to notice what I was worthy of, and I started to notice like the things that just really did not work for me and did not help me be who I wanted to be. So that's the first step, is like really paying attention to your environment, really paying attention to how people are making you feel, whether that's in a relationship or work, how you are behaving, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, okay? How it's affecting you, how it's affecting your relationship, how it's affecting the way you show up in relationships, or how you show up in your work, okay? So that's really important. Okay, so the next step is to know your value and know your worth, and get clear on what you need. And that kind of comes after that first step, because I think, like I said, you start to notice kind of how you're being affected. And then I think that just either comes naturally, and you will just realise kind of, well, I'm worth more than this. I'm worth, more respect than this. I'm worthy of support. Like, all those things, it will either come naturally, or like it's good to kind of evaluate and just see, okay, so I don't like this about this. And you can write these things down. You can write these things down and say like, okay, I don't like this about this. I don't like the way I feel. I feel like this. I would rather feel like this. And you just write everything you don't like. You write all the things that you're feeling. And then you kind of look at the opposite of that, and you kind of get an idea of what you need, okay? What you really need for you to help you feel more like you, okay? So that's what I did. And I think it came naturally for me at the time. But nowadays, because I am a lot more self-aware, I kind of, I do write lists, and I do kind of really pay attention to what I need for me, and to feel more valued, to feel more worthy. And yeah, so number 2 is just to kind of write a list. And that's kind of what I did. So I realised what I needed instead. I realised that I needed a really supportive manager. I realised that I needed a mixture of male and female workers, because I was working with just females at the time, and I realised that I actually work better with men and women. I knew that I needed different hours, I needed better pay, but mostly I needed someone to really like just support me and encourage me, and recognise my value and my worth. So I kind of, in that, when I realised my value, that kind of inspired me to take action, okay? And that's, so when you kind of when you realise what you need, it's then the third step, okay? So number 3 is express your needs, and if they can't be met, then meet your own needs, okay? So in this instance, I couldn't really express my needs. I knew that they wouldn't be heard. That just wasn't the environment I could do that. So my next step was to meet my own needs. So that's when I decided to get a rocket up my arse and get out of there, like she said. So so I kind of used that as a fuel, really. So that's another thing that you can do, is like, if you're really unhappy, use that as fuel, which was interesting, isn't it? Get rocket fuel. So I did that. I applied for jobs, and as I was applying for jobs, I really thought about what I needed, okay? I didn't just go into another job. I really thought about what it was that was good for me and what felt good for me, okay? And so yeah, I kind of got myself out of there. But you can meet your own needs in relationships by kind of if you can't get what you need from the other person, then how do you give it to yourself? So how do I want to feel? Do I need to give myself more space? Do I need to give myself more me time? Do I need to listen to myself more? If not with someone who listens very well, do I need to have more fun and do fun things myself? And if it's a case of expressing your needs, get clear. Number 2, get clear on what you need, and then just say what you need, you know. And if you find it hard, if you worry about the other person, what is she doing? If you worry about the other person, you know, getting angry or whatever, don't come at it like blame. Like, don't say I blame you for this, like it's your fault, you're doing this, you're doing that. Come at it in a way that expresses your needs by saying how it makes you feel, okay? So in number 2, when you're kind of like getting an idea of the way get an idea of what you need, think of it in terms of number 1, sorry. If you realise what you don't want, right, what's actually happening around you, or how this person's being, then think about how it makes you feel and what it makes you do. So you could say to this person, look, this isn't working for me. This is the reason why. It makes me feel like this, or it makes me behave like this. So they kind of get an understanding of, you know, the reasons why. You're not just going, you're doing this, and you're not explaining it. Okay, so that's a good way to express your needs, okay, if you're worried about that. So if you really own the way you feel, and you can sort of set boundaries in that case, and say, like, you know, and express what you need. So like, I need more space, I need to get more time on my own, or I need you to help with the housework, because if not I get too stressed and then I take it out on you and the kids, or whatever it is, okay? So this can apply to relationships or work, okay? Say for instance, in work, you find it really hard to work in a noisy environment. You could say to your manager, look, I'm struggling to work in a noisy environment. Noisy environment. I'm struggling to work with the dog. Hang on a second, let me just move her. Sorry about that. Looks like I had to realise what wasn't working and meet my own needs by removing the dog. Okay, so yes, where was I? So you could say, I'm struggling in this noisy environment, or I'm struggling with this person who's noisy next to me. It makes me feel really stressed and I can't concentrate on my work, or my work is affected by it. Is there anything that you can do to help me? Okay, so that's a sort of example in the workplace, for instance. Yeah, so that's kind of number 3. So I managed to kind of get out of that place, and actually, because I had got so clear on what I needed in my mind, the perfect job came along at the time. It was smaller, it was mixed male and female, it was the perfect hours, it was more money, it was a more supportive environment, much more encouraging. I built my confidence no end, and I ended up going, like, from there to training to be a counsellor whilst I was working there, because they were so supportive with that as well, doing what I absolutely always wanted to do, and I ended up like doing personal growth and personal development because of that, and I absolutely love this. So there's kind of like my little journey and the 3 steps to how to be more authentic in work and relationships. And had a little dog along the journey there, but so I hope you liked it. I hope it gave you some value. If you kind of want to look at, like, understanding your relationships and your friendships more, like realizing kind of what's going on in your friendship and relationships, getting really aware of it, and understanding them better, and seeing kind of how you can shift and change that, I do have a video called Evaluating Relationships and Friendships. I think it was one of my earlier videos. I haven't quite worked out how to kind of put it on here yet, you know, with the the ping up thing. But if you have a look through my videos, through playlists, I think it's on self-awareness or self-discovery topics. Have a look in that playlist and it will be in there. So have a look at that video. And if this was of value to you and you liked it, then give it a like. Pop your comments down below. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos. And and if you want to connect with me, if you want to book a reading or book a mentoring session or anything, have a look at the description box. All my links are in there. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.